But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that...
Well, just to put it bluntly, these are not refugees from Syria.
Looking at them, the way they're dressed, these are prosperous, I'm loath to use the expression, these are prosperous middle-class people.
And this is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe.
These are Christians, they're white.
Me, I'm sorry, it's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed, children being killed every day with Putin's missiles.
Well, these are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East that are still in a big state of war.
This is a relatively civilized, relatively European.
These are not people trying to get away from areas in North Africa. They look like any European family that you would live next door to.
So of course I understand and respect the emotion.
Social media users accuse mainstream media of hypocrisy in its coverage of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The war has triggered swift condemnation by several countries, followed by immediate sanctions and emergency talks at the UN Security Council. However, on social media, the spread of such an international response has raised thousands of eyebrows at the lack of such a reaction to other conflicts across the world, accusing media pundits, journalists, and political figures of double standards by underlying their horror at how such a conflict could happen to a civilized nation.
This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too.
Others drew attention to the involvement of sports in politics, as support flooded football pitches, with FIFA banning Russia from all sporting events. However, a number of incidents involving other nations were met with fines and criticism. Celtic Football Club were fined over £8,000 by UEFA after fans displayed Palestinian flags, labelled by UEFA as an illicit banner during a Champions League qualifier in 2016. While in 2008, Egyptian player Abu Treka was penalised for wearing a shirt with "Sympathise with Gaza" written on it. Calls were also made to penalise Hamza Chowdhury for lifting the Palestinian flag in the FA Cup final, while Mesut Ozil also faced harsh criticism for standing up for Uyghur rights who are facing atrocities in China. European politicians have also expressed support for open borders towards Ukrainian refugees, using terminology such as intellectuals and European, which many pointed out as a far cry from the fear-mongering used by governments against migrants and refugees from Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia.